It was a dark and stormy night, and at 10:30 I sat on the couch, pondering, listening to the leaves rustle in the wind and the rain pound down on my old country home. I was bored. Alas, what movie should I use to cure this raging boredom I had bubbling inside me? The answer was not clear. So I got onto Netflix and looked through the horror section, hoping, praying that I would find something to cure that aching burn in my heart. And what I ended up finding was a random A24 film, because as you all know, I love A24 films, and I'm not sure if I regret watching this or not, but the 1 hour and 41 minutes I spent, I will never get back. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or not, because this movie was, I can't even explain it. It was called Tusk. And if you've seen this movie, you know why I'm so flustered about it, because it is the weirdest, most disturbing movie I've ever seen. Like, this movie disturbed me more than Midsummer, which is definitely saying something, because my god, that movie was disturbing. But Tusk. So the story follows a young man named Wallace who does podcasts for a living and basically makes fun of people on his podcasts and talks to them in real life to get their stories. He finds a video online of a kid who accidentally cuts his leg off with a katana, wants to talk to the kid and make fun of him for his podcast, and he goes to Canada to meet him. But when he gets there, he finds out that the kid has killed himself, so boo-hoo Wallace, no more subject for your podcast. And while he's taking a pee in a bar bathroom in Canada, he finds a note on the wall from an old man that describes his adventures at sea, and the old man wants someone to come live in his house to help him with household chores and whatnot, and in return the person gets to stay and hear all about his glorious adventures. And Wallace thinks that this is a great idea and that it'll be amazing and perfect for his podcast. So he goes to the old man's house, and I'm just going to skip all the boring bits. He tells about his life and how a walrus saved him at sea. And then Walrus passes out and faints and basically just gets yeeted onto the floor from the tea he was drinking. And the old man, throughout the rest of the movie, how do I put this lightly, turns him into a human walrus. I'm not even kidding. The old man takes Wallace and turns him into Wallace the Walrus. He cuts up his body parts and molds them together until he is literally a living walrus, because this man loved his walrus so much. And it's absolutely disgusting. But I can't tell if I loved or hated this movie because it's just so weird. The acting in of itself, it's, again, this isn't the first time I've said this, but it's not Oscar worthy, but it wasn't technically bad either. A24 films always surprise me with whatever's going on in them because they're so different each time. But, oh god, what kind of story is this? The movie, throughout the first half, was legitimately enjoyable, and I actually was liking it. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, but the second half kind of lost me because it started just going all over the place. And normally I like a movie that's all over the place, but this just went a little too far. I'm sorry, I'm laughing just thinking about it because this movie was so disgusting and so weird. I mean, just think about it. I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie that involves a man being turned into a walrus. What a fantastic idea. What kind of person on drugs came up with this idea? I would love to know what this person was doing. What made them want to make a movie about a man being turned into a walrus? It's disgusting. It's hilarious. I don't think it was supposed to be hilarious, but I still found it hilarious, and that's why I love this movie so much. Again, I don't know if I love it or hate it or something in between, but it's amazing for some reason. I told my family about it, and they thought I was crazy for enjoying it somewhat, but it's I'm sorry, but a man being turned into a walrus. Okay. Again, the acting wasn't too bad. It was actually enjoyable. But after the second half of the movie, the storyline just takes a turn and starts getting too weird for it to even make sense really anymore. Also, Johnny Depp's in this movie. I'm not even kidding. Or at least that's what the internet said. I don't remember him being in the movie, but like, I don't know. There's something about this movie that I just found to be so unique and so weird and so disturbing that I actually enjoyed it, because I hate it when movies just repeat off the same ideas over and over again and there's nothing new or exciting happening. This movie is definitely different, and that's probably why I'm liking it and why it's just so weird. The effects of the man walrus are not the best. It looks like a suit, but that's okay. That's fine. It's fine. But yeah, the second half of this movie, as well as the ending, were probably the cheesiest, worst things you could have done to this movie. But other than that, the first half, it's actually legitimately an okay movie. The concept, if you're open to weird concepts, then this is probably the movie for you. I don't know how this got made or how it even ended up in theaters or why people actually went to watch it. Who knows? I don't know why I watched it either, but that's okay. I love this movie for some odd reason. I've decided I actually love it because it's so weird. It's so weird. This isn't even a review. It's just me saying this movie's so weird over and over again, but I don't care. There was something about it that I just liked so much that I was legit sitting up at 10:30 at night laughing at the TV because I loved it so much. But I would totally recommend this, not if you're like some hardcore, tough, thick-skinned movie critic who's looking to judge something real tough, because you'll find so many things wrong with this movie. But for someone like me, a kid who just wanted something fun to watch, this was a great way to pass the time, and I really ended up enjoying it. I'm probably on this scale gonna give it about I don't know, maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Because it's definitely not a perfect movie. It's far from it, but it's okay. I enjoyed it. I would watch it if you're looking for something really weird and you want to be disturbed and scarred for the rest of your life, but yeah. Well, guys, that was my review for Tusk. It wasn't really a review because I have no idea how to explain this movie in any way or tell what I liked about it, because I don't even know what I liked about it, but I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and if you didn't, that's okay too. Please watch this movie so you can be as disturbed as I am. Okay, thanks. See you next time, fellow movie lovers.